flipping through some websites and seeing what's going on in the sports world. And I'm sure you remember Scott Mitchell. He played in the NFL for some time. He played with the Dolphins and the Lions and for the Bengals for a little bit, a quarterback out of Utah. Now he's a high school coach there in his home state. And his Springville high school squad is 7-1 right now. They're already in the state playoffs. And next week they were scheduled to play Mountain Crest, who is 6-2. Well, Scotty Mitchell decided to call up the other head coach and say, listen, would you agree to cancel this game so we can both rest up and play the bigger games and, expect to get to the playoffs? Look towards there. And he told the local media that, listen, we have a lot of guys that are banged up on the team. He wants to be fresh and ready and as healthy as possible going into the playoffs. And I'm thinking, okay, I kind of see where you're coming from, Scotty. And the thing is, his opponent next week, Mountain Crest, has a big game down the road against Skyview. They're both vying for one playoff spot. So I look at that and I think, all right, I see where he's coming from. But both coaches, Scotty Mitchell and the head coach at Mountain Crest, mutually decided to cancel that game next Friday. Just up and cancel it. Decided to. And I'm thinking, okay, I get where we're coming from, but high school sports, they're not professional sports. These kids are playing because they enjoy it. They have fun. They tried out and made the team. Now, they're not getting paid. All their friends are on the team, I'm sure, and Friday nights to them, that's their time to shine. Their family comes out and watches them play. That's most likely their highlight of the week. That's what they practice for and work out for in the off season. And run stairs or run a few miles in the summer heat. This is what they train for and are ready for when it comes fall. This time of year. So when these head coaches mutually decide to cancel a high school football game, I just think of the kids. I think of the children on those teams. Some might be adults, 18 and over now. But I think of them not being able to play on a Friday night and say, you know what? Even if the starters didn't go in and we put in the backups, we got good experience from our freshmen and sophomores. And we decided, you know what? We just want to get those kids in there because at this point, they're still young. We want to make this team better going forward, but also for the seniors. This might be their third or fourth last game in their sports career. They might play flag football in college, but you and I both know that their careers are over. And if you've ever played high school sports, it sometimes gets a little emotional because you're coming down to the wire. You realize that, you know what, I'm not going to be around all these teammates ever again. I might see them here and there and at the local pub or down the street, maybe at the town center. But we're never going to play organized sports ever again. And I feel like Scott Mitchell and the other head coach, they're just yanking this away from their players. They're doing it because all they want to do is win. And maybe it's about job security. Maybe it's about getting a better payday on Fridays. Maybe, I can understand that. But when you kind of just push these kids aside, and I don't know if Mitchell has maybe asked or not asked his students and his players whether or not they want to play on Friday. But if this was solely his decision and the other head coach's decision, shame on them. You like to see these kids play. I know they want to play. Players want to play. Coaches want to coach. Well, these coaches don't want to coach. And we've seen it in the NFL where teams aren't going to get out of games, but we've seen it with the Colts where last year, their 2 games in the regular season, they just decided to really bench all their starters for the most part. Yeah, they played a little bit. But one of the reasons a lot of people said the Jets got into the playoffs was because of the Colts. Because of the Colts deciding not to play everybody at full strength. But in high school, I think this is still about sports. This shouldn't be about money or any agreements or making the state playoffs and maybe winning a state title. This should be about the kids and having fun. Why can't sports be about fun sometimes? I know I'm maybe, wearing a blindfold occasionally. But why can't it be about fun? Go out there and have fun. You're still in high school. Yeah, there's the world is in front of you. It might be in the palm of your hands, but you're still young. Enjoy it while you can. But here you have these coaches saying, no. You know what? We're not going to play. Forget Friday night. We're going to focus on next week. Your team is still 7-1. Your team is still 6-2. They still have a shot. But no, if we get an injury, it might do something. Come on. Why can't we just have fun? And if you want